Welcome to the Notary News Channel. My name is Desiree Roman Rodriguez, and I am a subject matter expert in all things notary in the state of Illinois. I am also an enrolled agent credentialed by the Internal Revenue Service to prepare taxes and represent taxpayers before the IRS. This week on Notary News Channel, we're going to be talking about end of month and how to navigate that, which is also known as your money making days if you're a notary or a notary signing agent. The schedule of a notary, a signing agent, or a small business owner can be very hectic, especially if you're just starting out and you haven't put together a system that works well for you, your business, and your personal life. And end of month is kind of like that every month for no matter if you have a schedule or a system in place or not, because the end of month can be very chaotic. Now, what exactly is end of month? It's the last few days of the month that lenders have to close any of the loans that they have been working on for the preceding month or the current month. Lenders have a very specific amount of time to close a loan once the process begins. And typically, end of month is when most of the lenders are trying to get their loans closed, and that translates to a lot of work for notaries and for signing agents. Loan officers are usually hard pressed to schedule a loan to close at the end of the month, because if the loan ends up going into the next month without closing, then there's going to be some issues associated with that. So, for example, they may have to pay extra days of interest. They may have to request another payoff because the payoff on the other loan that they're paying off would expire at the end of the month. Or they may be in danger of losing the interest rate that was locked in if the interest rate date is scheduled to expire. But probably the biggest incentive a loan officer has to close a loan by the end of a month is to get paid. Their commission fee is going to be based on the sale of the property or the refinance of the property of the loan that they're working on. And typically, they aren't getting paid anything while they're working on that loan, and they get paid once the loan funds. So they want to try to capture that loan closing in that month so that one, they can have high numbers of the number of loans that they've closed during that month, but two, so that they can have a good, decent commission check. Lenders typically try to schedule their loans to sign to coincide when the loan will fund by the last day of the month. Now, that's not to say that there aren't other loans that are going on that can fund at any time during the month, such as purchases or sales of a property. For loans that are going to be closing after a certain number of days or funding a certain number of days later, those are typically refinances. But it's not uncommon for there to be a purchase and the loan to close a day or two after the papers get signed because one member of the signing party is missing, or the seller is in a different state than the buyer and the documents have to get shipped to where the buyer or seller is in order for that sale to go through and be finalized and fund. But specifically, we're talking about mortgages that are being refinanced. So a mortgage that's getting refinanced is going to need a 3-day right of rescission. What's the 3-day right of rescission? It usually means the homeowner gets 3 business days to change their mind and not go through with the refinance. Those 3 days are called the right of rescission period. And those right of rescission days are usually the most hectic for a notary or a signing agent. So, for example, using October 2020, using this month, if the last day of the month to close a loan would actually be October 26th, which is a Monday. And the reason it's so early in the month, even though there's 31 days in this month, is because of the way that the last days of the month fall. So Monday, the 26th, would be the final day a person who is closing a loan and refinancing can sign. And then they're going to have 3 days after that in order to change their mind. They have until October 29th. So once the 29th has passed, then the loan will fund on October 30th, which is a Friday. And that is the last day that a loan can post technically as closed for the month of October, because loans don't fund on Saturdays or Sundays. So any lender that doesn't get their loans signed on Monday the 26th will essentially have their loans funded in the beginning of November. So, what does that mean? It means Monday the 26th will be the money making day. And does that mean you're not going to make money on any other days after the 26th? No, it just means you're going to have a lot more days where you'll continue to make money. Usually, the earlier the end of month day is, the more work that you're going to have after that end of month day passes, because then those loans will still be getting closed. Typically, the lender will add the interest in those extra days before the loan gets to fund the following month. There's also going to be other purchases and sales that will continue to close all the way up through October 30th. Even purchases and sales don't close on the weekends because funds can't be wired or transferred over the weekend. They'll always have to be transferred during the weekday. So to make the most of your end of month day, then you should plan on starting really early and try to have the lenders send you the documents the night before. And that way you have them printed up and ready to go as soon as the day starts. You're also going to want to try to get your appointments either close to home or close to each other if you're going to be away from home. And that way you have the time to be able to schedule more appointments and not have to break up more of your day to have to go back home and print up more documents. You want to make sure that you reserve the hot time slots for your better paying title companies. What does that mean? Hot time slots typically means the times that are more demanding, that lenders typically want to reserve for their clients. What are those hot times? For the mornings, it would be 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and 11 a.m. And for the evening, it would be 5 p.m., 6 p.m., and 7 p.m. The reason why those are the hot time slots is because if the loan is closing during the day, it's more than likely going to be closing in the office of the loan officer or in the office of the title company or even at the customer's office. And so they want to get those closed before the lunch hour. For the evening appointments, usually it's going to be when the borrower gets home. And so they typically want to sign around 5, 6, or 7 because they want to get that done before they have dinner and then spend the rest of the evening with their family. So with those hot time slots, you don't want to be giving up those time slots to the low baller companies or title companies that don't pay as well as some of your more, better clients, and hopefully that you have. So always remember to carve out time the days before end of month to take care of whatever it is you need to take care of, because once end of month day comes, it's going to be crazy and hectic. And make sure you let your family and friends know that you're not going to be available and you're going to be having one chaotic work day, and that you're not going to be able to have time to stop and chit chat and return phone calls or meet up for lunch. Start as early as you can and end as late as you can to get in as many appointments as you can. So that's going to be all that we have for this week. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post them in the comments below. And if you have any questions you want to send us an email, You can send to info@romanendeavors.com or send your question in a tweet to our Twitter at Notary Channel. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.